Hey, this is Jamie from Capsule Computers, and today we are reviewing The Messenger. This title from Sabotage and Devolver Digital is available now for Switch and Windows. At the time of the recording of this video, the game cost $19.99 US. The Messenger is a love letter to 8-bit and 16-bit games like Ninja Gaiden and Metroidvania titles. The game has pulled in several awards at the Ubisoft Indie Series and the Montreal Independent Games Festival. Developed by Quebec City, Canada-based developers Sabotage, The Messenger features two distinct visual styles, character upgrades, a comedic plot, and a chiptune soundtrack by Rainbow Dragon Eyes. Our protagonist is likely the biggest slacker in a clan of ninjas. He rarely shows up to training sessions and harbors doubts about the existence of the prophesized hero from the West. Much to the shock of his teachers, the hero of the West chooses our protagonist to be the messenger who will carry the scroll that will save the clan. The Messenger is actually more comedy than drama. It's not the most gripping story, but its lighthearted nature is a great counterpoint to The Messenger's challenging gameplay. The writers pay tribute to famed retro platformers, break the fourth wall, and generally have a lot of fun with the platformer genre. There are moments where the humor is a little random, but it's generally good enough to elicit a smile at bare minimum. The Messenger does a great job channeling the retro platformers that inspired the game. Controls and level design are almost spot on. The controls are incredibly responsive. Skilled players will be able to chain together some YouTube-worthy moves to rocket through levels due to the smooth controls. The only downside is the game is designed almost exclusively for use with a controller, as the mouse and keyboard seem to be an afterthought. There are no options available for adjusting keybinds, let alone a list of what each key actually does. The level design is excellent. The Messenger starts out as a pretty simple 8-bit platformer, but the game becomes increasingly complex as new equipment and mechanics for maneuvering around the levels are introduced. Sabotage does an excellent job of catering to players of all skill levels. There are plenty of side paths, secret areas, and shortcuts with more difficult layouts to test the skill of veteran platformers. At the same time, there is usually an easier path for newbies that will skip a bit of currency or take a little longer to complete. The boss fights are well made. The fights offer some interesting mechanics, and many have more than one way to attack a weak spot. The Messenger offers a good amount of variation in these fights, ranging from large-scale set pieces to high-mobility brawls with fast-moving bosses. Some boss fight intros need to be shortened though. While retrying bosses after death will skip over any conversation, many bosses have a long introductory animation that gets frustrating after watching it for the 20th time. The character upgrade system isn't the deepest, but it provides a few new abilities that makes the game significantly easier. There's plenty of room for the truly masochistic to attempt to beat the game without any upgrades. I like how the Messenger handles currency and death. Upon returning to the last checkpoint, the level repopulates all the currency, but players will lose a set number of currency as a punishment for dying. The penalty is generally lower than the amount of currency that respawns, meaning struggling players will eventually get a leg up. The character upgrades are capped, however, making the overall learning curve a slow, consistent trend upwards. The Messenger offers two visual styles, one replicating the 8-bit era and the other the 16-bit. The artists have done a fantastic job as the styles are pretty much spot on. The transition between 8-bit and 16-bit is handled well. It's cool to see how different yet similar the game looks in 8-bit and 16-bit graphics. The sprites are animated well. While enemies feel more like riffs on classic design, the Messenger also offers visually interesting bosses. The Messenger's audio experience is excellent. The sound effects are a perfect replica of 8-bit and 16-bit sound effects. The chiptune soundtrack from Rainbow Dragon Eyes is amazing. While the music is heavily influenced by modern dance music versus old-school game soundtracks, the music serves as a perfect accompaniment to the Messenger's slick gameplay and daredevil acrobatics. I'm happy to see the soundtrack has been made available for purchase because it's worth a buy on its own for game music fans. The Messenger is a fantastic platformer. The well-crafted levels, tight controls, and excellent presentation comes together to form a satisfying package. As a gamer who's notoriously awful at platformers, I found myself drawn to the Messenger in the same masochistic way gamers have been playing Dark Souls-type games for the last several years. Even more skilled players will still be able to tune the game to give themselves that sort of challenge they crave. While the game's mouse and keyboard controls fall short, it's totally worth plugging in a controller and enjoying the Messenger. I'm awarding the Messenger 8.5 capsules out of 10. If you want to read this review, be sure to check out the link in the description or in the video's card. I hope to see you soon. This is Jamie from Capsule Computers, signing off. Hey YouTube, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and subscribe to Capsule Computers for more awesome videos. If you're looking for more videos to watch, check out our review of World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth here on the right. And if you're looking for another retro-inspired indie game to play, check out our review of The Swords of Ditto here on the left.